The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Morning Market Kickoff with your host, Tommy O'Brien. Now, Tommy O'Brien.
Good Monday morning, everybody. I'm Tommy O'Brien, coming to you live from TFNN. We kick things off, and you talk about some volatility. We'll see where the week progresses to. We kick it off with a war premium in metals, in the dollar, and markets reacting in the red. Now, we're well off the lows. It was quite an escalation to lower prices last night. You hit a low of 67.68 in the overnight session, about 3 a.m. Eastern time. We were just as high as 68.33. So you're talking about almost 1% from where we were at the lows. I was going to bed late last night, approaching midnight. Yeah, it wasn't even that bad. Look at the run you had till 3 in the morning. So volatility, yeah, you better believe it. S&P's off by 1.1% this morning. NASDAQ 100 off 1.5%. 24,640 off 364 points. The Dow off 1.1%, 48,472. And the Russell off by 1.4%, off 37 points at 25.97. Bitcoin holding up pretty well, actually. Basically flat. You were higher in the overnight session as markets were pulling back. Bitcoin, 65,760 right now. Crude with a premium. You better believe it. We opened futures last night as high as 75.33. We're up by about $5. Crude trading at 71.96 right now. We jumped to yields. So check out this action. Yields in the dollar. Okay, big movers in this market. Last night, you open to higher price, lower yield. And since then, though, right, what do we have? We got lower price, higher yields. You got the 10-year right now. Let's see what we're trading at right now. We hit a low, of 3.95%. We're at 4.1. Okay, you were as low on yield, 3.95. You take a look at the daily. And yeah, how's that for a move on a daily basis, right? Taking back everything we did Friday and then some. Now, what I did want to show you to kick off the program on this 10-year, okay? Yeah, when I was writing the gold report this morning, we were at 3.98% in the 10-year. Right now, we're at 4.1, okay? You did hit 3.95 overnight. Check out the way we traded to that higher price, lower yield on a volume basis, right? Ramping up. This is a weekly, the week of January 26th. February 2nd, February 9th, you pull back with a slight downtick in volume, and then you accelerate higher. Now, you couldn't get above these highs technically and close, and we'll see. We're going to get some volume this week, but that had been some strong bullish volume over the last 5 weeks to the upside on price in the 10-year, which pushed us all the way on that open Sunday night to about 3.95%, and we're back above 4% right now, 4.1. We have higher crude prices. You might deal with inflation. Yeah, you're talking about higher yield, and that's going to be a factor, and that's kind of the turnaround. Is inflation going to be a worry? We'll find out. You have higher crude prices right now. The Fed, more in tune with core prices for the obvious reason of fluctuations in that crude market. But then you look to the dollar, okay? Watch this. How about this one? We were just right back at the overnight highs of the dollar. You're up by 831 ticks, all right? Almost a full point. Friday, you were at 97.58. You're basically a full point higher, 98.43. Now, even with that dollar strength, gold's holding up well, but look at this pullback, okay? Don't be surprised, folks, if this is going to be a tough area for gold to break through if you have dramatic dollar strength coming into this market. You look at this gold contract. On a weekly basis, check out this volume. The last 3 weeks, folks. Now, one of those weeks is a holiday week, President's Day. But the last 3 weeks, 620,000, 466, and 656. Those are some of the lightest volume weeks you have going back years outside of holiday weeks, 600,000 contracts, et cetera. Now, we've already done 126,000 contracts today. Okay, we are going to get some volume in this gold market, but we have drifted higher, and we're coming right into all this volume right here. All right, if you follow quality volume, price and volume, this is a tremendous wall of volume that we're bumping into on vapor-thin volume. You look at this gold market, today alone, we've already done 126,000 contracts. We're going to have the highest daily volume in gold going back almost to the beginning of February by the time I'm probably done with this program, right? That's how little volume we've done. The whole way that gold has gone from 47.50 up to 5,400. So be careful in that gold market, because I was thinking about it last night, right, in the gold report this morning, and I'm looking at this dollar, right? Now we broke below 95 and change. We're up 3 full points in the dollar from where we were to start February. Mammoth move in the dollar. And meanwhile, you go back to gold, and we're right where we were. Okay, we have a much stronger dollar, and gold's still priced in that area. So now we're coming back up to that level with some dollar strength again, and we got no volume in that market. Now, silver, pretty close to the same scenario. You look at the dailies on silver, we've already done 35,000 contracts. You look at the weekly on silver, a little bit of an uptick last week, but still 300,000 contracts for the whole week. We were doing 600 on a continual basis, right? 650. We did 875 before we made it to the peak where we pulled back on 1.2. Last week we did 300,000 contracts. Week prior you did 210. In that time, silver just traded from 71 to 95 on that volume right there. So watch that dollar strength. So I started saying, you know, it's so easy that gold's going to push higher on a war premium in Iran. But it's never that easy, folks, okay? And we're coming into these highs with all this volume, vapor-thin volume. And, yeah, you break through this area with some strength, that's a real confirmation. But that's going to be very difficult for this market to do. Okay, there's a lot of equities, and I'll try and pull up some of them that come into it. Yeah, this one's well above it. Okay, there's many equities. I'll pull it up, folks, that are coming into, yeah, wheat and precious metals, another beast that's over its highs. But look at how we're breaking above all these highs on lighter volume, and not even lighter volume versus some of the highs. Okay, you are coming into some of those areas. Harmony's got a little bit of an uptick. I was talking about this one. This has some nice strength on the upside. But there's all this volume on so many equities that are hanging out here. If you're interested in the gold report, folks, check it out. Put out a new issue today. Break down all those equities. I think I got like 40 charts in there. 30, 40 charts. Number of different equities. And so, yeah, this is going to be a critical week. And, you know, I'll pull up some of those after the break so you can take a look at it, because, you know, Harmony actually looked good. We got an uptick right now on that volume. You take a look at the daily. Yeah, we're coming into all of this volume on the selling on many of these equities. And if we start getting some real dollar strength, and boy, it looks like we are, folks. All right, we talked to our man Teddy Kegstad on Wednesdays. He always talks about we are a crude producer, folks. Okay, we produce crude, right? Japan, they consume crude. So when you look at the strength of the dollar versus the yen, you got the yen weaker by $1.47 today, coming up to these highs, because, yeah, crude prices are going up. All right, we produce it, other people buy it, they got to buy dollars as well, and you got yields rising as well. S&P is off by 80. We'll come right back, folks. If you're looking for potential trading setups in the stock market, then Rocket Equities and Options Report is a newsletter you should try. Tommy O'Brien delivers options and equity trades when the markets present them, using a combination of fundamentals and technicals. Sign up for Rocket Equities and Options Report today with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. For all the details and to start your subscription today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento. A pro's pro with over 50 years of experience, Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
Building wealth trading in the stock market seems impossible to most people. They think it's too volatile and risky. Most people aren't going to take the time to educate themselves on how to do it right. But you're not most people, are you? At TFNN, you'll get the guidance you need to refine your strategies and techniques to invest like a pro. Because you'll be a pro. All TFNN subscriptions, books, software, and courses are available at TFNN.com. And I'm even going to tell you how to get them for less. Use TFNN's Tiger Dollars and you'll get up to a 20% bonus on your purchase. And once you apply them to your account, Tiger Dollars are automatically used for all future or recurring charges. Tiger Dollars also never expire, are fully transferable, and are a great way to add savings to your newsletters or services. Become the investor you were born to be at TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
TFNN has launched the Tiger's Den. Hosted at Discord, TFNN has been educating traders for more than 20 years with live programming hosted by a variety of professional traders during market hours. The Tiger's Den, available to all tigers and tigresses for just $1 for the year. There's no catch or added costs when you join our community of traders. Sign up today and become a part of this educational community of traders. Just visit the front page of TFNN.com.
This portion of the Morning Market Kickoff is brought to you by Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the direction. Visit Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foresight Fund Services, LLC. Welcome back, folks. And so, yeah, some of the updates, unfortunately, I believe a fourth service member has been reported to be killed. And so Trump told the New York Times on Sunday that it won't be difficult for the U.S. and Israel to continue the bombardment. The defense secretary denies that Iran campaign will turn into an endless war. Now, unfortunately, I'm an old man to a certain degree at this point. I'm not. I live young, folks, remain young. But in terms of memories and history, I am an old man because the memories and the history that I have, I joke, right? But you got to back it up 24 years ago. And you got to be of a mature age at that point to have lived through the Iraq war and the things that got said and the things that got done at that time, just to bring to light. And in terms of shining a light on history, right, I see headlines like this, and then I see things about the president saying something about 5 weeks. Okay, and I lost that article. Somewhere I had it up here. I'm going to get it. Okay, that the president... Here it is. The U.S. reported a fourth American was killed as President Trump predicted the assault could continue for the next 4 or 5 weeks. Okay. Trump told the New York Times on Sunday it won't be difficult for the U.S. and Israel to continue the bombardment. I had it right above. Adding that America has a global weapons stockpile to keep up with the strikes. Okay. Now, this quote, folks, right? 5 weeks. That's the number, 4 or 5 weeks. Well, I back you up to 2002. Defense Secretary Donald Rumsfeld. This article is from 2002, folks. Okay, this is the article. All right. He downplays the risks. It's just worth knowing what history has said. Doesn't mean it's going to play out. Doesn't mean it can't be worse. Doesn't mean it's going to be better. Okay. But man, reading these things and hearing the words 5 weeks even uttered by the president and the defense secretary, of course, downplaying the endless war that could ensue. Donald Rumsfeld's words, the idea that it's going to be a long, long battle of some kind, I think is belied by the fact of what happened in 1990. The military is stronger than it was during the Persian Gulf War, while Iraq's armed forces are weaker. And here's the quote, 5 days or 5 weeks or 5 months, but it certainly isn't going to last any longer than that. It won't be World War III. Well, thankfully, it was not World War III, but it was not 5 weeks. It was not 5 months. It was not 5 years. And so that was the report on a Thursday in November of 2002. So you back it up to where we are today. And, you know, as we're talking about in the den, nobody should want war. You always want to be safe. Okay, Iran is definitely a danger, death to America and all of that. But we got 4 dead service members, and the Constitution does say that Congress has to declare an act of war, and it sure seems like it's an act of war, not an emergency, and even the president is out there in his 8-minute speech saying it's about the future. It's about the future generations, and I'm sure it is. But those types of decisions, the Constitution says they run through them, and that's been absent for a while because everything can be a emergency and every president does it. But boy, we've been through this one before, and Iran is not Venezuela. That is for sure. So we will see how this plays out. But when you hear things like that, and you know, it's a laughter in anxiety, right? When you hear things like that, and I do that, it's a laughter in anxiety, as in like when you hear things like that, my goodness, it should scare you when somebody says it's 5 weeks. Okay. And so, you know, to bring it back to the markets, you're not seeing a huge reaction in some of these markets for where things could be. Pretty tantalizing how Iran is going full scorched earth here across the board. Dubai has been marred by tourist videos of bombs just exploding over euphoric tourist videos. I mean, I was watching some of those videos out of Dubai. I'm sure we all saw them. Dubai has riches, and man, some of those parties that people are at, lavish lifestyles. I'm looking at these, whether it's influencers, whatever it is, right? Glamorous lifestyles. And the contrast to being in a war zone with missiles imploding over luxury high-rises is something that Dubai is going to have some difficulty shaking in the near term, to put it lightly. And that's not going away. And there's a real chance of an escalation here. And that, you know, and I haven't even touched on the Grand Ayatollah and radicals and religious war. And, you know, I feel like I'm stating the obvious, but the market, yeah. And I'm watching the dollar most of all this morning, because you start driving higher on this dollar, which you could. Okay, crude spiking higher. We're right near those highs at 98.48. And how gold is going to relate to that. Yeah, look at this gold pullback. Okay, don't just assume that gold's going to plow higher today, folks, okay? We have a position right now in the gold report. We tightened our stop a little bit this week because, you know, it's just not that easy that we start a war and metal prices soar. We got crude prices trading higher. We got dollar strength. You have yields pushing a little bit higher, which is a turnaround from the trend this morning. So we have a potential to buck the trend a bit, and the reaction could be fierce in some of those assets if the market has to reverse that. You know what? Maybe we don't have a weaker dollar coming in with a new Fed chair. Maybe we have higher crude prices. We have a prolonged war with Iran, and we have inflationary forces pushing yields higher, dollar strength, and weighing on gold and silver. So I'm going to watch this thing, man. I was thinking about it, and just like that, you know, I had this thesis, folks, coming on the air this morning, right? Saying, all right, I'm going to talk about that. There is some risk here in this metals market, okay? And maybe this is the one. I was thinking about this. I was up at about 5:30 this morning. Okay, look at this gold contract. I hope you're out there listening. If you are, thank you for the support. Thank you for being here. And this might be one of the, we'll see how it goes. But we got some action. Look at this move right now. Look at it. Look at this. Man. I mean, what are we? We're down $100 from where we were at 8:30, folks. Whew. Okay. Get those spikes up. Get ready, folks. You got gold positions, equities, okay? I think the market could be really paying attention for a big head fake in the metals market today, and we already got it. We got $100 right now from where we were. Yeah. We just dropped another $10 since I've been talking the last 5 words. We're coming back for an opening bell. Opening bell. Markets digesting all the action over the weekend. We got gold up by $80, but we're giving up some of those gains. Dollar strength.
Sharpening
Come
your
right back,
skills
folks.
as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern, for free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
If you spend any time online researching trading techniques on how to begin your trading journey, you've no doubt come across many folks who push Forex trading as a way to make big money quickly. Unfortunately, there are equally as many stories of these so-called Forex professionals just looking to make a quick buck off aspiring traders without actually teaching the ins and outs of the Forex market. This is what sets Teddy Keckstack's The Tiger Forex Report off the riffraff. Every Monday, former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member and author Teddy Keckstack releases his Tiger Forex Report newsletter, where he dives into the complex world of Forex and takes time to actually teach you his methods that have made him so successful in the fast-paced and rewarding world of Forex trading. Furthermore, all subscribers receive access to archived live streams of Teddy's, where he provides university-level education to help you in Forex trading. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So what are you waiting for? Forex awaits.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV.
Welcome back, folks. We got equities open, and yeah, be careful in this metals market, folks. XAU opens negative, okay? HUI right now. We'll see as the market's opening right now, but just looking at all these equities, right? You take a look at Hecla. Look at this dump from 26.45. This thing is off 10% from where it was overnight. Okay, watch out in metals equities right now, folks. Protect yourself. Gold still up by $100, but we got dollar strength, and this market's paying attention to it. We got higher crude prices. Dollar back above 98.50 right now. And you take a look at this dollar. Okay. Looks like it's on its way to 100. You're at 98.50 right now. You're well within this bar we had the week of January 19th. And this, you're going back, folks, almost a year. This thing's been chopping around with the top of the range near about 100 in that dollar. Go back to the S&Ps. All right, we got buying in the market. They're buying the dip, folks, on the open. You're down by about 65 points right now. We jump over the NASDAQ. You're down by 1.1%. A little bit of a bid as well. Now, we're approaching 3% off the lows from overnight. Whew. I mean, you break above this level, you're above everything up until where we were almost last evening. We're going to get some nice volatility. This is going to be a trader's market this year, folks. Okay, you think about a new Fed coming in, right? Now we got higher crude prices to sprinkle on top of that. 71.95. Wasn't that long ago, folks? 6 weeks ago? 7 weeks ago that we were at $56. You're at 72. 16. Wow. I mean, percentage-wise, right? Up like 27% for a barrel of crude. That's your daily. You take a look at the weekly. We're going to have some volume this week, I imagine. Last week, you do about 1.7 million contracts. We're at 500,000 already. Bumping up against where we were in June. Take a look at some of those energy stocks. Exxon. I mean, look at this, right? It's good to be an oil company when there's war in the Middle East. And look at the run. Crude's at $55. We're at 72 over that time. You got Exxon. Percentage-wise, Exxon's up almost even more. Exxon from 115. I would imagine we'll get some volume this week for sure. Yeah. Some of the defense stocks now, a little bit of a give back here. Lockheed, you're up by 5%. Well, look at the overnight action. All right, you're almost at lows. You spiked to $790 from $660. We're up by $32. You're up by $132 on this thing. Look at the give back for GDX. Look at this. All right, folks, the GDX is $6 off its highs. That's a 5% drop. Look at this, folks. Look at this. Jump over to silver. Oh, man. Okay, protect yourself out here, folks. You could have a complete reversal of where people have been lined up in this market thinking that we're about to drive lower, myself included, okay? It's okay to change your sentiment. And right now I find it, going through it this weekend, seeing the dollar strength, seeing gold dramatically higher, and saying, man, this would be pretty amazing if you get a double top and you give it up. And that's the way it's looking so far, folks. You look at the equities and they're saying it. Look at this. You can't even catch a bid. And gold's up 85, $100 right now on the equities. It's just not happening. Whew, silver, my goodness. Jump over to platinum right now. Down by $100. Platinum's $175 off of the highs this morning. You jump over to copper. Hey, maybe this is the pullback we need before the next leg higher, because we're still going to get a new Fed chair. Their first meeting is going to be in June. Yeah, how's that for some volatility for you? Amazon down about 1.5% right now. You jump over to NVIDIA. Not NVIDIA. You can't hold NVIDIA down. I joke. Down. Look at this move. Up by 1% for NVIDIA right now as we're catching a bid in these markets, folks. The dollar pauses things for a bit. We're at 98.41, but boy, That was quite some movement for some of these equities. Look at this. Oh, I mean, folks, this should be worrisome. Okay, you go into the weekend, you're long gold and silver equities, right? You have a war breakout in Iran. You have gold shoot up in the overnight session, almost $200 to $54.34 within all-time highs. You have silver shoot up to $97 overnight. And within 5 minutes of the open, there's red numbers in silver equities to the tune of 7, 6, 10%. Okay? It's not too late to get a plan in the market and protect yourself. Because, man, there are sellers in these equities across the board right now, folks, in metals equities. Yeah, we jump back to yields, and look at this. We have lower price, higher yield continuing, and you are at almost the lows of the session. You are. We're at 4.02 right now. The 10-year is up 7 basis points from where we were last night. We're at 3.95. And I haven't even talked about there's a real risk here where you have a real escalation, right? There were 3 F-15s that the Kuwaitis mistakenly shot out of the sky. The 6 service members parachuted or in stable condition. There's a real potential for an escalation that is not even necessary to price into a certain degree, but you see articles like that, 3 of them, 3 F-15s, each plane. The monetary value is not the most important, but about $100 million. $100 million planes, 3 of them shot out of the sky by the Kuwaitis on friendly fire. So we're like 48 hours into this war, and it is not calming down right now. But there's your 10-year, 4.02. And yeah, when you opened last night, you were right down at about 3.95%. That's where you were coming into on February 27th, and you're up by almost 7 basis points from that low in the 10-year. Dollar backs off a bit. We're at 98.40 right now. But equities continuing to rise. All right, gold finds a bit of a bottom as the dollar pauses a bit. You get the XAU in the red. Remarkable market action. S&P's down by 48. We'll come right back, folks.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
For traders who crave risk, Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs provide opportunities to magnify short-term perspectives with up to 3 times a daily leverage, utilize bull and bear funds from both sides of the trade, and trade through rapidly changing markets. These are highly leveraged ETFs with daily resetting designed for short-term trading, not long-term investing. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the Direxion. For up-to-date pricing and performance, go to Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC. Are you ready to take charge of your financial future? TFNN is your gateway to the world of trading and investing. Whether you're starting out or scaling up, TFNN empowers traders and investors of all skill levels with top-notch investing systems, strategies, and techniques. It's time to protect and grow your money with insight you can trust. Join us live Monday through Friday during market hours for exclusive content that moves with the markets. At TFNN, we bring the trading floor to you. Our seasoned hosts are here to answer your calls and questions live on the air. Check out the Tiger's Den for just $1 and follow us on YouTube and become part of our vibrant community. And remember, at TFNN, we're so confident in the value we provide that we offer a 30-day money-back guarantee on all new premium newsletter subscriptions and services. You have absolutely nothing to risk, so why wait? Tune in live to Tiger TV and transform your trading journey, because when you know better, you invest better. Join us and experience the difference today. TFNN, educating investors.
This program is brought to you by Vista Gold, traded on the NYSE American and TSX under the symbol VGZ.
Welcome back, folks. We got the S&Ps negative by 47 points right now, and that may seem like a lot, but it's nowhere near where we were in the overnight session. You're a solid 72 points off of the overnight lows, so you're more than 1% off of where we were last night. You take a look at the NASDAQ 100 right now. How's that for an open? Down by just 0.7%, and we're approaching 350 points off of the lows. It's almost 1.5% off of the lows last night. We jump over the VIX as this market pushes higher. 22.28, well off the highs of 25, but still up about $2.40. Yeah, which is a 12% increase still in that VIX. Man, Steve Rhodes talks about the 10% move in that VIX. We're still at 12%, but we'll see. We got to bid in these markets and keeping our eye on yields. It's not stopping. We got the 10-year approaching 4.03%. We were at 3.95. We're up almost 8 basis points from the lows of last night. You jump over the dollar as that move has paused for a bit, but we got dollar strength today. 98.41 right now. And gold, we bounced from right where we were at the overnight, but gold up 2.2%, up $120. Silver right now down 3% off $2.75. And yeah, pretty remarkable. You can go into a war weekend, metal prices higher. You got dollar strength, though, and you got these silver stocks. First Majestic's down by 2% right now. Endeavor's down by 6% right now. Hecla's down by 2% today as well. All right, you jump over to NVIDIA. Not NVIDIA, NVIDIA. Up by $2.70, up 1.5%. That's an add of about $60 billion in market cap from where they were on Friday. Quite the pullback on decent earnings last week. And if they come into those earnings at $197, you're almost $20 below where you were on that level, which is almost $500 billion in market cap. But we got a bid today. Now, again, they're investing in the companies they need for themselves. They're going to invest $4 billion in data center optics companies, 2 of them. They're each going to get $2 billion. It used to be millions, right? Now they're pushing $2 billion. Multi-year deals. And these data center optics are essential for AI systems. The money will go to support research and development. And yeah, they're using their cash to plow through that market. These 2 companies, Lumentum and Coherent. Is that Light? Yeah, Light and COHR. They're both up about 5 to 7% today. Light's up 4%, and COHR up about 6% right now. Let's take a look at these equities. They're in a good business, that's for sure. And look at this volume. We got some decent volume on this equity. You push higher on the week of February 2nd. We got a nice sign of strength last week. And the other one is Light. Lumentum. A decent uptick in volume last week, but you've still broken above this area from February on their numbers on lighter volume. Put this thing on a daily. Yeah, we're going to do some volume this week. We've already done about 1.6 million shares. Some weeks you do 3, 4, 5 million shares all week. On the flip side of that, CoreWeave. I was looking at this thing pre-market. You didn't quite break the recent lows on volume, but the last sign of strength was down here at about $70 on this equity, and you break below there, watch out. And I know it seems amazing that that could happen, but you got to remember, okay, folks, that almost a year ago, even when everybody knew about the craze of AI, they could not push this thing out to the public at $40 a share unless NVIDIA invested to backstop a portion of that IPO. So to say it's impossible you could reach that level 12 months, 14 months, a year and a half later, you better believe it's possible. And the volume's saying it's possible in this equity to the downside. And yeah, NVIDIA, you got the bottom of the range here at about 170. It's a powerful week to the downside last week. More volume than we've had since basically the tariff lows in April. All right, we jump back to some of the headlines. So you got NVIDIA out there. Now, in terms of where the Fed is right now, the next meeting, 16 days from right now, 2 weeks from this coming Wednesday, the market's 97% sure that the Fed's going to stay where they are right now, 3.5 to 3.75. Powell's final meeting, April 29th, the market gives it about a 16% chance that the Fed will cut at that meeting. You go out to the expected first meeting of Mr. Warsh, still just over a 50% chance that there's no cut by June. 43% chance that we do get a cut when we get a new Fed chair in June. And then you go out through the end of this year, and the market looking for about 50 basis points of cuts with an equal distribution of 75 basis points or 25, but 50 being the preponderance by the end of the year. Now, we'll see what happens with crude prices, with prices overall, because you have yield 7 basis points higher, you have dollar strength, you got crude. All right, here's a little bit of a give back. Boy, pretty remarkable scene with the type of wealth and people, you know, there's people I follow, just influencers on social media. There's some poker players that I follow that live in Dubai, notable poker players, just for whatever reason, right? And one of them in particular was saying, you know, I feel so foolish that I flew back into Dubai recently ahead of this, and why I didn't go somewhere else when we all kind of knew that this was a risk, and it just didn't feel like it could hit a city like Dubai was the underlying reason for obvious reasons. But boy, it did. And the implications could be pretty remarkable. Now, crude's only up $4 right now. You just broke below where we were at about 7 a.m., and we'll see, because we're going to get some volume today, but you got equities. They're still buying this dip. So we got the open last night, about 30 points higher. Yeah, 35 points away from highs. S&P's right now coming up to the overnight highs. Check it out. And boy, we're going to get some volume today, folks. You better believe it, right? We're at 623,000 contracts. You only did 1.5 million contracts all Friday. Look at gold. Gold's already done 150,000 contracts. We're about to do the most volume since February 6th. And it's 9:50 in the morning. And boy, silver's getting clobbered, and you're going to have volume, folks. You're already at about 50,000 contracts in silver. That's what we did all of Friday. All right, folks, S&Ps, we got market action. They're buying the dip, 68.55. We're about to cross over these pre-market highs. We sure are. We're in the gap from last night on the S&P as they are buying the dip. You check out the heat map. A lot of red on this map in the NASDAQ 100. Okay, S&P 500, we got a mixed bag. We'll come back. We'll take a look at the equities. We'll be right back, folks. One more segment.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
The reality is that navigating financial markets can be risky. Markets can be chaotic and difficult to understand. Having the latest market advice can help you turn this chaos into a key for creating winning trades. At TFNN, we understand that it can be hard to find reliable market news. That's why each of our market experts offers their very own market newsletter, a must-have tool for every trader out there striving to find an edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets so you can analyze the market before you trade. Try any of our great newsletters risk-free with our 30-day money-back guarantee. Just visit the Newsletters tab on the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV.
Welcome back, folks. We get the S&Ps negative by 0.6% in the red, off about 39 points. You see that charge higher right out of the gate. S&Ps open near 6,800. We're trading at 6,849. NASDAQ 100 negative by about 0.6%, off 160 points, 24,844. The Dow off by 0.6%. The Russell off by only 0.8%. The Russell was down to 2573 last night. You talk about an acceleration. Bitcoin, look at this bid. Up by $1,500, 67,290. And yields, one of the things we're watching most. Look, it's continuing to tick right now. And yeah, let me jump over and check out the 10-year. There it is. You would technically round up. There we go. It's running. Watch this 10-year, folks. 4.03. As I get off the air, we got yields at highs of the session. The dollar's backed off a bit at 98.37. It's given gold a bit of a reprieve on the sell-off from the highs, still up by $100. Silver, though, down by $3.14, and silver is a good $7 off the highs and almost $6 from where it was trading early this morning. Silver off by 3.2% right now. Nvidia up by 1.3%. And taking a look at the heat map, I mean, check out the S&P 500. Right, you're only down by 38 points, but not a lot of green on this thing, man. Palantir, they're going to be a benefactor of war, up by almost 4% right now. Microsoft's up 0.7. Nvidia, we talked about in the green. You got Raytheon out there. Yeah, Northrop Grumman up by 4.2. General Dynamics up by 1.4. And Lockheed Martin up by 3%. Energy stocks, defense stocks, a few tech equities. And Berkshire down by 3.8% on their news. All right, folks, appreciate you kicking off your trading week right here with me on the Morning Market Kickoff at TFNN. Couldn't appreciate it more, folks. Very fortunate for what I do. I enjoy it every day. Thanks for being here with me. Stay tuned. Basil Chapman's coming up next with the Tiger Technicians Hour. Steve Rhodes with the Trader's Edge, live at 11 o'clock. Fast Market from the Schwab Network at noon. Larry Pesavento with Trade What You See at 1 o'clock. I'll see you at 3. Have a great Monday, everybody. Thanks so much.